May the words of my mouth and the meditation of all our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. So we heard the story, right? We heard about these shepherds, these nobodies, out in a field. And then there comes this star, and the star's shining brighter. The star shining in the darkness. And what did you say, Gavin, at the end? It said, no matter how dark it became, the darker the night became, the brighter the light shone. We know, right, it's December 24th, and so just a couple days ago was the longest night. And so you all know, right, especially after the daylight savings thing, you turn to your loved ones and you're like, man, it is getting dark early, isn't it? It's like 4:30. It's like, I remember when I used to have to commute. I don't have to drive that far now, but when I used to live in like the suburbs of Houston and drive from downtown, like I would leave my house in the morning in the dark, and I would get home in the dark. I'm glad I live 10 minutes from work now, so I don't have to live in the dark anymore. But Christmas is also a time we love lights, right? I think I have some pictures up here. Who here loves Christmas lights? My mom right here, she loves Christmas lights so much she had them permanently installed on her house. Or maybe her son just never came and hung them up, and so she had to get them permanently installed in her house. So now they got these drive-through things, right? Like if you've ever been to NRH2O, you know right now it is Christmas in color. And so you can pay a whole bunch of money and you get these weird glasses and you drive slowly around and you listen to some really amazing or annoying music. And all these, it's like, I didn't see any seizure warnings, but you need them, right? Like, this is crazy. So you can go drive through. They've got a walk-through thing at the old Rangers ballpark, right? They got these drive-through things all over. Another place I saw Christmas lights, the next slide here, this is the drone people, right? And so if you watched the Great Christmas Light War last year, you know the person that won lives right here in Keller. And so he does drone shows around here. And so this was down at the Birdville Fine Arts and Athletics Center last week, I think. We went, and this is hundreds of drones, and they told a whole story. It was like 25 minutes long. It was longer than Charlie Brown's Christmas, right? I'm telling you, they had this whole story. It was wild. There was this snowman who hated Christmas, and he stole the toys, and a penguin was sent to go. I'm telling you, these guys are crazy. There's this penguin that went and saved, and so at the end, right, like you don't need fireworks or any of this. You have these drones that fly up and they do all these things. So happy holidays. And so another place that I saw Christmas lights up here. Anyone up here been to McKinney and seen the Christmas house? So these people are on this year's, right? We in North Texas, we have to win the Christmas battle every year. There's this television competition show. So these folks in McKinney, I didn't go up there. My mom's still holding that against me that I didn't take her up there. We still have time, Mom. Could you imagine being these people's neighbors? I have 3 inflatables in my yard, and I feel bad if I leave them turned on too late. These folks, no way. HOA would write them a letter in a heartbeat. We love Christmas lights. But there's another light I want to talk about, because this is a new thing, brand new to Fort Worth. We'll talk about it in a minute. Who here, I asked before if you like Christmas lights. Who here likes art? Art, right? So this is my favorite artist in the whole world. His name is James Turrell, right? And James Turrell has no painting or drawing or artistic ability. He'll say it himself. What he uses is light. And so he does these things. He has some things in museums that are inside where he manipulates light, but his big things that he's known for are called sky spaces. Maybe you've been to some. I travel around to visit them. I love this guy so much. This one on the top left, I was in Israel 8 or so years ago, and I was at the Israeli Museum, and I kind of just wandered around. It's kind of on this hillside, this barren area, and I walked up to what it looked like a bomb shelter, frankly. It's this concrete, very utilitarian box. And I was like, I'm in random Israel. Why wouldn't I walk into a bomb shelter? This seems safe, right? And so I walk in, and then I'm at this first thing. You can see here, right? It's just an open concrete space with an aperture in the center. And I was mesmerized, y'all. Like I walk in, I lay down on this concrete floor, and I just stare up, and I watch the clouds go by. And I watch the light change. And I fell in love with this guy, James Turrell. This one in the middle, my nephew goes to Rice. You've probably never been here, Bryce. Have you been to the Epiphany Sky Space? Yep, see, he knows right here. This is a grassy hill on Rice University's campus, where he builds up, and they built this canopy above, and you can see the light in the top center. And there you go. The thing with all of these is you go either at sunrise or sunset, and there's this time sequence where he takes what he knows is going to be the light of the sun, and he combines it with artificial light that he projects onto the wall, and it's wild. Like, he makes these colors that are otherworldly. And so I saw this one there in Houston. The one below it's another one in Houston. He's a Quaker, right? And if you know about Quakers, they don't do art. And so he says, like, I don't do art because my Quaker grandparents would be mad at me. And so he does this with light. And so this is a Quaker meeting house, that middle bottom. That's another place. You sit there and you're sitting around in silence, and you're waiting for someone to speak as you do in the Quaker tradition, and all you can do is you can't help but look up and see the color change and the light change. This bottom left here, we were in Chicago for spring break a couple of years ago, and I made the boys, it was snowing in spring break. We didn't take jackets for that because we left here and it was hot, and so I make them trudge through the sleet and the rain and the snow to go find this street corner in Chicago, because what looks like it should be a bus stop is this thing on the bottom left, a room with a hole in the ceiling that the light is just otherworldly. And this one on the right here, this is on a mountainside in Colorado. You have to hike to this one. The other ones you can kind of drive to, whatever. This one took some effort on the right. And so you hike up this mountain, and you end up and you see this place. And just the lights change. And so why do I talk about a random modern artist who says he doesn't like art? Because the way he talks about this, the way he talks about what he does with his art, is he has a quote where he says, "We always think space is out there. We always think the sky is out there. We always think the light is out there." And what he wants to do, he says, what I want to do is I want to show you that the light is all around you. I want to show you that you are in the light. If he were to be preaching here tonight, he might tell you, I want to show you the light has come in to the world. And so there's the next one you can show. This is a new place in Fort Worth. This is Keith House. It's a recreation of an old ranch house on the left. It's down along the Trinity River. And the light changes throughout the day, right? The way James Turrell uses the light projected interacts with the sunlight or the moonlight that comes in through the aperture, because the light never hits the same place twice, right? It never is the same thing. And so there's always this meeting of us in the light and what we see. And I think about that. We all come here today. And there's different things that brought us here, right? Maybe grandma brought us here. Maybe our kids singing in the choir brought us here. Maybe a deep yearning for something bigger than ourselves brought us here. And when we got in here, we all come in here with different things. Some of us can't wait to get home, and I wish this guy would sit down because once I get home, I can open presents. Sorry, I'm going to sit down in a minute. Maybe we come here with joy and expectation and hope. But maybe we come here and this has been a hard year. Maybe we come here and we're going home to an empty house. Maybe we come here bringing pain and sorrow. Whatever we bring into this place, the light is all around us. Whether we come in here with joy or sorrow, whether we come in here with hope or desperation, whether we come in here with fear or excitement, the light is here. The light is always here. The light's not this thing up here, as James Turrell reminds. This light's not this thing up here that has no idea what's going on and we can never grasp it and we have nothing. That's not what it is. The light is here because it's Christmas and Jesus Christ is born. The light has come in to the world. The light is with us. Love is with us. Joy is with us. Because tonight, God is with us. Amen.